So when I bought this car, I already knew that the passenger side window didn't roll down. He said that the motor was broken, so I was kind of expecting a big repair there already. But my buddy Danny, who knows all about these, he's owned one for 30 years, recommended, hey, why don't you just try swapping out the switch for the one that does work, just to hopefully see if it's the switch and not the motor. So I did, popped it out, put it in this one, tried it, bingo bango, window works. So glad. Thank you so much, Danny, for that. That saved me a bunch of headache. Simple thing to just test. So yeah, just a bad switch. So I went ahead and ordered all new switches here. The car also did come with this other on-off switch that I don't know what it does. This is radar, and then it has an on. Maybe the previous owner put in a radar detector. There's also some weird push button indicator. I don't know what that does either. I'm gonna maybe eventually trace that wiring down to see where that goes. But I think this guy, since it's already got wiring on it, I'm gonna trace that back and see where that goes. And if it just goes straight to the battery, I'm going to use that to turn on my flux capacitor back here. So I'm gonna mount that. You gotta have a flux capacitor. Anyway, so I went ahead and bought all 4 switches. So I'm gonna swap them out. The only difference is that these new ones, grab a new one. Where's the new one? Oh. So the only difference is the new ones are a tiny bit longer than the old ones. And as you can see down here in this hole, there's the metal frame here underneath the center console. And when you push in, there's less clearance once you attach it to the new switch. So DMC even mentions this in the listing. Hey, these are a little bit taller. You're going to have to move some wires out of the way. You have to remove the ashtray so that you can grab under here and pull up to help get these little side clips to fully seat in on both sides. That was the first one that I tried, and it was kind of a pain in the butt. I had to do it a few times just to kind of make sure that I got everything out of the way, and then pulled up really tight, and then used a little tiny screwdriver to kind of flick them back underneath the thing, but they finally locked in, and now it's perfect. It's super solid. When I first did it, it was only hooked in here, and this part was kind of sticking out a little bit, so it was rubbing against this. So I would push the button, window would start rolling down, I'd let go, but it would keep rolling down, and it would just hold it because it was sticking, rubbing up here. Once I got it seated in both sides, after reading the description, which I should have done in the first place, to know that these are a little bit longer, I got it fully seated, and now it's perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap out the other ones and see how that goes. Okay, so here's the stock switch compared to the new one, and you can see how it's like a centimeter longer. It's quite a bit of difference. Even though this is higher up, this is higher up. So if you scoot this down here, these match up, the pins, so that's all fine. But yeah, this switch is definitely taller, so you've got less clearance inside that hole. So you got to be kind of careful to make sure that it's not going to bind anything or kink your wires up, and that you don't have anything underneath it, because you've got zero room to work with. Okay, so the trick is for these guys, once you get them seated in, these little plastic prongs are still going to be visible here because they're not latched fully underneath this. So take your ashtray out and you seat it down as much as you can, and then with your thumb you grab a hold of it, and then with your other fingers you lift up, you pull up. You're basically doing this, push down and pull up really tightly on the plastic here to get it down as tight as you can. And then with your other hand, you get a little flathead screwdriver and grab these. First of all, make sure your battery's off. Thanks, Danny. Don't short anything out like I did. I blew a 30 amp fuse in slot number 11. So if you do pop one, all of a sudden you're messing with these and your windows stop working. Fuse number 11, it's 30 amp. So turn your battery off first, but yeah, push down push down here, pull up here at the same time, and then while you're doing that, you can use the little flathead screwdriver to pop these little prongs up and underneath the plastic on all four sides and lock it in place. And now it's super secure, it's not going anywhere. And then you just pop your cover on and it should be perfect. No good clearance, no rubbing, no wiggling, super solid. While I'm in here, I removed the ashtray in order to grab that, and this piece of foam is in here, I'm assuming, to kind of like isolate some of the noise, and it's just falling apart into dust. So I've got some high density or some packing foam from some packaging that I'm going to cut a piece to replace that, because this is nasty. I'm sure it's not very good to breathe. Every time I get in this car, my allergies act up, so I'm going to be vacuuming this out. Looks like we may have also had some friends visit and make a little nest there, so we're going to start looking for chewed cables. That's fun. Yay, DeLoreans. Mice love DeLoreans. All right, I'm going to get this vacuumed up, cut a little piece here to cover that back up, and put the ashtray back in, and we should be good. These are the originals. I've got a new dummy switch coming and a new defroster switch coming. I'm never going to use the rear defroster, but I want to have it work just in case. But these guys are the new ones. So these are not connected to anything right now. They're just to keep the holes closed. And then whenever I get the new ones in a couple of days, I'll swap those out as well. Should be good. Okay, got that cleaned out. I got some foam here. I'm gonna cut that to size, shove that down in there, and replace the ashtray, and we should be good. Nice. All right, there we go. Let's test it. Plug the battery back in and see if we have power. Okay, let's test it out. Time circuit's on. All right, okay, we've got power on the door lights. Battery's on. Come on. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Come on. And we got doors, we got power windows. Oh, and last one. Oh yeah, look at that. Sweet power window goodness. Sweet power window goodness. I love it when a plan comes together. Ooh, nice. Nice. All right, one job down, 5,000 to go.